Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah. How we doing?
Okay, so The Rock's on the show, boys.
How about that?
Yeah.
Huh?
We got The Rock on the show.
Whoa.
What's up, Colorado?
Yeah.
So I think right now, if you look around, there's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
All right, let's talk about this, and we appreciate you joining us. And obviously, when you talk about class, the classes that you went to were down the University of Miami. We've all followed your story. We all watch Young Rock.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's a hell of a thing.
Thank you, brother.
College football.
The classes I allegedly went to, but yes, go ahead.
Had to for the show, too. You had a fake show up. But I feel like college football is still something that you're very near and dear to, even with your incredibly busy schedule. How about Boulder, Colorado being the epicenter of it all right now, and Dion changing the culture completely?
And in this crowd is live. We love live crowds, and I love college football. You know, it's where in college, like for us, I know that, you know, is where you learn so much of your life lessons, especially for us down at University of Miami. Played with some amazing players down there. We played against Coach Prime, and, you know, who was at Florida State, but there's nothing like the college atmosphere. And here's what I love, and you guys can attest to this too, is you get lucky, I think, every once in a while if you're part of something that is a game changer and changes the face of something. And in this case, Colorado, Coach Prime, changing the face of college football is incredible.
Hell yeah. There's going to be some Southern whites that are not going to be happy with what you just said.
At all.
Obviously, because Saban and Kirby Smart
No,
have
of
to win
course.
national championships. But how quickly they've been able to turn this around means that the leadership at the top is the real deal. Now, I don't want to pivot away from Colorado. We will talk about them for the next couple hours, but let's go to you. You've been able to build so many brands now post-WWE. You talk about Terramona.
What?
You talk about Oost Juice, Zoa Energy.
What?
You talk about some French toast, I believe you're selling.
What?
Everything you seem to touch has great success. What is it about building brands that you love, and why do you think it's something that you've been good at?
Well, I think that they started early. I got you. I agree. I think that, you know, when it comes to building something and building brands, what I've found is, and it goes back to this show too, which I'm going to bring it back to in a second, is whether it's Terramana or Zoa, Project Rock, you want to do something that you love. Yeah. And if you love something, whatever that thing is, it gets you out of bed, you run towards it, you got to be passionate about it. But the thing about all these brands that I've been lucky enough to be able to build is it all goes back to serving the people. Creating something that I feel the people would enjoy in some capacity. But so it's the same thing to me about the show, is that you guys get up in the morning, you come to work, you're passionate, you guys have fun, but ultimately you want to deliver a show to the people, and that's what it's all about.
Well, I appreciate you talking about our program. We were supposed to do this for the last couple of years.
Dude, this has been years in the making.
You making this happen today on this Friday, we are so incredibly thankful for.
Unreal.
Thank you, thank you, boys, thank you.
And people don't know this. People don't know this about this guy, and obviously everything you do is under a microscope because of how tall and charming, handsome, and everything.
Funny. Sexy.
Powerful. Yeah, you know, all those things. Like, people just automatically assume that you've become this out-of-touch psychopath because your schedule is insane. He texted me the other day, said, hey, heard you and the boys are going to be in Boulder on Friday. If you have any room on your show, would love to. That's what he asked me. So all you people that have an image or a thought about what this dude is or what he has become, I literally get a text from The Rock, okay, hilarious, first of all. And then it says, if you have any room, I would love to be able to chop it up with you boys. Know this. And I think I speak for every damn show on earth.
Yep.
You have time. Anytime you want to come on. Anytime you want to join us, you are good.
Thank you, boys. Thank you.
Let's
I appreciate it. This has been years in the making, though, so
Yes.
thank you.
You've been very kind to me, too. With my WWE run, anytime I reach out to you for some advice, you took time, you taught me a lot of things, you shared game with me, and I'm forever thankful for that. You need to know that.
Oh, man, of course. I appreciate that. And as I've told you, you've done, first of all, making it to the NFL is a hard thing to do, right? Like this guy will tell you, man, like I tried to do and it didn't happen. So the fact that you were able to do that, that's hard. The fact then that you transition into something that you love and you deliver this show for the people every single day, not only is it hard, but it's gratifying too, man. Yeah. And you put your passion in this thing. So yeah, so when I text you, I'm not gonna assume, dude, like, yeah, I'm just gonna show up and put me on. So I said, hey, you got any room?
Hey, start assuming that.
Yeah, you should.
Start assuming that, or I guess never do that, which leads me to my next conversation with you, because you've done something remarkable in your home state of Hawaii. You've put together this People's Fund that you put millions of dollars into, and then it was almost immediately scrutinized.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the People's Fund that you put together, the magic behind it, and then also the response that has come alongside, I assume, everything that you do?
Yeah, man. Sure. So the People's Fund of Maui is a fund that we started, and the idea was to create a fund for these people who had been there. It was the worst fires in U.S. history in over a century, and so many lives destroyed. The idea was, let's put this fund together. Let's create a fund where the money will go directly into their hands. Right now, it's a thing that people need. And so we put this fund together, and I donated millions of dollars of my own personal money up front. And thank you very much. I appreciate that. Millions and millions. And then, but then the criticism, some criticism came in. I got to tell you about the criticism. I totally get it, and I completely understand. You know, money's not growing on trees. A lot of people out there are living paycheck to paycheck, and I get it. I've been there. I've had $7. We've all been there. And a lot of you got, like, we've all been to that place, right? Especially back in college. So, and I get why it made some people upset, and I could have communicated that message a lot better. What I should have said was, all right, guys, we got a People's Fund of Maui. We're all heartbroken, devastated. Millions of dollars here. I'm donating. That's going to go directly into the people's hands. I appreciate all the love and all the support and all the prayers. Keep it coming. And
yeah, but listen,
keep it coming.
Yeah, but you got to remember, though, like ESPN during these games will put up a Red Cross link for like, hey, you come on and donate. They're not talking to every human that's watching. They're just talking to the people that are able and want to be able to do it. I think the message you were saying was a good one. I think the People's Fund is, it's the first ever. I think this is one of the first ever where this has happened.
What we've created, and thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. But again, at the end of the day, I totally get it. It's my accountability, and I'll be better next time. So 2 things on that. The People's Fund we've changed the game with this, because never before has a fund been made. You remove the red tape. The money's not going through 15 different organizations. Goes directly to the people. They'll start getting their money next week.
What?
Which is next week,
Wow.
which is awesome.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and by the way, the other part to this is the stuff that I love. And we've talked about social media and the power of social media. And what you guys have been able to do is like what we have in this relationship that we have on social media. Dude, and this is what I love about you guys. If you love something, you tell your boy, right? Now, if you hate it, you tell your boy. And that's what they were doing, so I totally get it.
Last question for me about that in this particular conversation before the boys have a couple. How do you handle it? You're the most followed, American dude in the world. I think you're like the most followed human. You put something up the other day, and within like 4 minutes on Instagram, it had 475,000 views. It was just like that out of nowhere. Everything you do on social media is huge. I think it's a massive piece of the puzzle that is The Rock. Do you see the feedback? How do you handle it?
I see it all the time. I see it all the time.
They say terrible things about me. I can't take it. I'm too mentally weak. I got to block, dude. You handle it all? How do you handle it all?
Well,
you ever get shook?
What you do is you try to take it with a grain of salt in context. Sometimes people get pissed. Sometimes people feel this way. They feel that way. But at the end of the day, it's a platform. And that's what I invite, and that's what we should invite. And then that's it.
Man. People say mean stuff on the internet. They get a rock bottom out of nowhere. Connor has a question for you, Rock.
Yeah, Rock, obviously, you just mentioned it, playing in the NFL is tough, but also, headlining WrestleMania multiple times, I'd say that's pretty damn tough, too. Yeah. Congratulations on that as well. Come on, weapon. Are there any that stand out to you? Are there some you go back when you're thinking about, your career in the WWE that you immediately think, wow, that was incredible. How did I even pull that off in the moment?
I would say two things. My first WrestleMania that I headlined will always be special to me, and that was with a guy, you guys might know him, Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you want to hear me raise some hell, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah! Shout out to Stone Cold.
Still got it too.
Yep. Still got the juice.
That was always special, but I would probably say the last WrestleMania I headlined with John Cena. We were in MetLife Stadium, New York, and I went in as WWE champion. The whole idea of the match was, at the end of the match, I was going to crown him champion. We were going to crown him champion, pass the torch. He goes on as champion, and I walk off into the sunset. So about 10 minutes into this match, I take a rock bottom, which is my finisher. He gives me about 10 minutes into the match, and I go up extra high. I start to turn, and I over-rotate. He drives me down into the mat, and I feel this, and I don't know what it is. Ooh. And I'm laying there. There's 85,000 people in New York, and I'm like, damn, what just happened? I thought a bone came through my skin. So you could see in the match, I start to put my hand down my trunks a little bit, and I just check it out. All right, what's going to happen? And so there was no bone. I was like, man, something happened, though. I don't know what it is. I get up. Now I start to get numb from the waist down, and I can't feel anything. And the referee says, you okay? And I said, yeah, I think I'm okay. And I said, how much? I said,
no, you're not.
Right, but we can't, hey, time out for a second. Let me go to the sideline. So I asked the ref, I said, how much more do we have left in the match? He goes, about 25, 30 minutes. I went, all right. So you know how you're in that moment sometimes in life. It's like you can call it off, or you could go for it and finish what you committed. And so I continued in the match, couldn't feel anything, and I didn't have a lot of movement in my leg, so I had to kind of like use momentum to move my leg. Yeah. And at the end of the match, I'm feeding up to John Cena. It's like I'm feeding into his big finish. Now this is it. We're in wrestling terminology, it's called we're going home. This is the final thing before the big 1, 2, 3.
Hell yeah.
Match is over. I feed up, and as I'm turning into him, I'm literally praying to God, the universe, Buddha, whoever is higher power. Please, and I wasn't praying for, hey, don't hurt me more. It was, give me the strength to endure this shit show that's getting ready to happen. And so I get up, he gives me his big slam, which is, you go about 10 feet up in the air. I land, as soon as I land, bang, again. I feel my, just all upper body go, wound up, completely tearing my abdomen.
What?
Oh my God.
In 3 places, so I had to have emergency hernia surgery, 3. Jeez. But then what happened down here, 10 minutes into the match was, I tore the top of my quad and my adductor from my pelvis.
What?
What the hell?
So
finish the match.
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Dude, I'm not saying tough or anything like that. It was just, in that moment, thank you, I appreciate that. Damn right I am.
Thank you, Rob. Come on.
Thank you,
you want to go out on your shield, and it was important that I raised John Hanna at the end, and then that was it.
And was that your last match?
That was my last match, man.
Okay, because every time somebody talks about you, obviously the wrestling fans would take you back in the WWE every single day, any day that you would do it. We all understand, though, that you have an incredibly busy schedule. But then the conversation started revolving around the fact, did we know that all that happened to you in that match, by the way?
No.
No, I don't think I did. That's brand new information.
No, you did not know. No.
Fans did not know that all that happened.
Fans knew the first part that I got hurt, but not everything else.
Okay, so I assume after that, surgery, rehab, that's months and months, right?
I did triple hernia surgery, emergency hernia surgery, but the tearing the quad off my pelvis, I had to go shoot Hercules. So I actually shot that movie Hurt. I didn't do surgery, so everything kind of just scar tissued up, and...
Weapon.
You're a psycho.
Of all the guys looking at me crazy.
He's got his knees are he can't even walk this
Right.
guy. I mean, it's a whole thing.
I feel
So
great.
now that we're learning all this, that kind of enforces the fact that people say the reason why you don't get back into the WWE as much is because if you get injured, it potentially slows down your entire. You have hundreds of people that work on your movies. Your team is one that relies upon
Thousands of people, man.
Thousands of people. That is a massive reason why I assume that you haven't been able to give back as much as like all the WWE fans have been looking for. Or?
Honestly, brother, it's not the injury that I'm concerned about, because that's just part of it. It's just part of the game. You sign up for it, you get hurt, we all get hurt. That's just the way it is. It's not even the schedule, because I could control the schedule to a large degree. It always comes to me going back to WWE and wrestling a match. It always comes down to the reason why and what can we create that's never been done before for the fans. So that's the idea.
Okay, which is perfect. Let's lead into last year in LA. SoFi. Roman obviously on an incredible run. The bloodline, huh?
Yeah.
They're not talking about my bloodline.
No.
They're not talking about Connor's bloodline.
Definitely not.
Ty's definitely not.
Nope.
Tones, no. AJ Hawk's bloodline runs real deep. They're not talking about. They were talking about your bloodline. So that story was a big one. The Rock and Roman, SoFi, LA. How close? Did that ever, and was that close?
All right, so the Rock headlining WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, SoFi Stadium, that was locked.
What?
We were.
No way.
We were doing it. We were doing it. We were doing it. But let me just tell you. So, about in the beginning of 2022, Nick Khan, who we know, shout
Friend
out
of
to
ours,
Nick,
shout out
very
Nicky.
good friend, long time for years.
Dog.
He's the man. He was very instrumental in bringing Vince and I together. We all flew to LA. We met. We sat. This is the beginning in 2022, and we broke out the Terramana. We toasted life, toasted the business we love, and about an hour later, we started talking about the potential of what this match could be between myself and Roman Reigns headlining WrestleMania at SoFi. And we shook hands and we hugged right there, all three of us at the table, and said, let's do this. And so the North Star, though, so then we had a year to really think about this. So the North Star thought was, okay, let's not do something good, let's not do something great, let's do something unprecedented. And it was in what can we create for the fans that has never been done before. A match, great. Roman, incredible athlete. He's going to be on Mount Rushmore.
Super handsome.
Right? Super handsome, good dude. My cousin, family, amazing. We can have the match, but the bigger thought was, what can we do for the fans in this business that we love that will, where WrestleMania isn't the end of something, it's actually the beginning of something bigger.
Got it.
So
what happened?
we got really, really close, but we couldn't actually nail what that thing was. So we decided to put our pencils down, and then we agreed, hey, listen, there is a merger coming up. Eventually that will happen. There's WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Whoa.
Lift the eyebrow.
Whoa.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that's a potential too. So I'm open. But again, let's figure out what that is, because the fans deserve something just incredible and unprecedented. And not only that, but also want to deliver to the locker room and the boys and the girls back there who are working their asses off. What can we do to put them in a position where they're part of something that is a new change, an era in this world of pro wrestling? Again, Vince is a big picture thinker, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And this is why we've gotten along for years, just trying to think big picture. So,
How do you feel about his mustache right now?
Strong.
How do you feel about
is that
it?
strong?
Oh,
Strong?
yeah, very
Strong?
strong.
Strong?
You ever think you'd see the day you sell the company? You've known him how long? How long you known Vince?
I met Vince when I was 11 years old. Dude, I met Vince in Madison Square Garden. I was 11 years old. My old man was wrestling with Andre the Giant, Tony Atlas, wrestling. My uncles, the Wild Samoans. Roman Reigns, dead.
Yeah.
So,
the bloodline, we get it. We get it. We understand.
And I first met Vince then. So we go way, way back. I never thought he would sell the company, but I'm not surprised, because he's always about big picture. He's always about growth. And think about where he's come from his first WrestleMania to now what the company was valued at. And this merger is really incredible.
You talk about your $7 story. How about him? Trailer Park Trash. Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Now worth, what, $6 billion or something like that.
At least.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Come on.
Hasn't made the right decision all the time. Has certainly done some things that people say, Matt, bad guy. He came on our show and he said, if I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
That's what I asked him about people asking, but an incredible American dream success story, just like you. AJ has a question for you.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, I want to know what else is out there that you haven't jumped into. Obviously, you're a big picture guy. You're a big thinker. We know Terramana. I think there's some of that floating around here, this set as well.
We're going to break open the Terramana. We're all doing a toast.
Absolutely. But what's left out there? Is there any other, what realm of this world have you not tackled that you would want to?
Oh, you're president. Yes.
That would be, honestly, you should. I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you for sure.
Thank you.
Ohio's a swing state, too. I live there. So, yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Boom. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, you know, I just want to continue to keep pushing along. And a lot of times when the thought is, what can we create? So here's the thing. I realized this. I got really lucky over the years. I put some good people around me. I had a lot of guys and women who are able to say, hey, you got some talent, and let's work hard.
But you probably get garbage pitched to you all the time. I'm thinking, I can't imagine all the stuff people try to bring to you. Hey, look at this. Look how amazing this could be.
Well, I get pitched.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm, obviously.
Yeah.
With
Everything's a great idea, and here, listen to this song, and I got a great script, and check this out. This is going to be the next great product. But I got really lucky along the way. You get lucky if you're sitting on top, if you work hard at whatever it is you do, and you get a chance to make it. You make it, which I've been very lucky to be able to say, hey, thank you. By the grace of God, I made it, but thank you.
Yeah.
But now, so when you get up here, and you guys, when you get out of college, you guys are going to see, you're all going to work your asses off, right? To get to where you need to go. And once you get up here to the top of the mountain, you got a choice. You could either ride off into the sunset, or you could do what I think all of you will do, which is build more mountains.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially here in the Rockies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the place I'm in now. I'm just looking to build more mountain.
We got the Rock in Boulder.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, think about that.
Pretty cool little thing
Writes
there
itself.
Boulder
as
and
you
Boulder.
piece it together. And I brought it up, okay? And you talked around it, and you went right back to him. But was there ever a time, I know in Young Rock, it's like 2032, you're running for president. Obviously, that was a comedic series that we got to learn a lot about you.
Yeah.
Thought it was a fantastic idea, by the way, to do your documentary that way.
Thank
I
you.
thought it was, I assume there's another doc coming. But in there, you're running for president. That's kind of how the whole season one is kind of based upon. We thought a couple years ago there was a chance your big ass was going to be standing on a debate stage, and we couldn't wait for you to battle with everybody. With the pressure that you have upon you to be a perfect human in the position that you're at, are you not the right person to potentially become president because of how much shit gets thrown at your shins already, and that's kind of the most determining factor?
Dude, I don't know if I'm the right guy or not the right guy. I got to tell you that I have been just really overwhelmed. It's so humbling to have people tell me what they tell me, and these polls that come out. There was a poll came out last year, 43 or 40% of the people said they would vote for me as president, which I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
A lot of people.
That's a high percentage. I think the last 10 presidents, about 3 years into their terms, I think they're at like 15%.
Yeah, not sniffing that.
So you're already double. You're already double what the president
Killing
is
him.
right now.
Dude, look, from $7 to having that kind of conversation is really incredible. Right now, I'm a proud girl dad. I got a 7-year-old, I got a 5-year-old, man, and I love being home. I love taking them to school, picking them up, and making cookies and doing that. And I just know that if something like that, the presidency would happen, all that goes away. And I've been there before. I got a 22-year-old daughter, too, as well, who's in pro wrestling, WWE. She's kicking ass. I'm so proud of her. But in wrestling, I was gone all the time. And I missed so many years with her, and it's heartbreaking, dude. So I feel like I don't want that to happen right now with my girls. Now, my girls will eventually grow up and get older, and then maybe. We'll see.
Look out.
Maybe as the
Maybe
kids
we'll see.
get older.
Hell yeah.
I think Mark Cuban said the same thing. He's like, maybe as my kids get older, because the commitment's real and your personal life is over. Speaking of your personal life, how do you find so much time to work out all the time?
Yeah.
You know, I know you got the Iron Paradise, hardest worker in the room, Project Rock, #1 seller in every single thing. You are an inspiration to a lot of us who are getting absolutely jocked.
Just check. Dude, look at you, dude. Yeah. Look at that. Come on,
I'm trying to get in shape, trying to do my thing, get jocked, but you are like the most fit man on earth. That's a full-time...
Were you like the most jacked punter in NFL history?
Now I am. I was a slob, though. I was able to bomb the ball without being in shape, so I did. You know what I mean? So I continue to do that. But, like, for you, that's a huge part of your business, a huge part of your life. How do you work out 4 hours? What is your workout? How do we look like you?
Well, you're never going to look like me.
You
but
don't.
Here's,
Impossible.
Nobody is. Yeah.
No, dude, I love working out. I love training, but it goes back to my old man. My old man, if you guys don't know, he was a pro wrestler way back in the day, and that was our bonding time. He would grab me, take me to the gym. It's like I talked to Aaron Donald. He had the same growing up. His dad would take him to the gym.
What age did you start?
5.
Okay.
But not working out, but just come to the gym, sit your ass in the corner, and then that's it. So I was around that
growth spurts
culture.
if you start lifting.
Yeah, you're not supposed to lift too early.
No,
Don't work too hard.
Started lifting when I was 14.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
9 years, know the gym. You've been in there.
Mana
That's
helps.
it. But I need that. So for me, life is crazy and busy and loud, and the gym is always my sanctuary. It's my time to get away for that hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or midnight.
Yeah, last night I think you were
How about
getting
you?
in real late. Me, I'm in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm in there, and I do arms every day. That's it.
Yeah, just the arm workout.
Yeah, because I wear tank tops, So
Yeah.
the big dipshit in tank tops only needs to have good arms. Haven't done an ab in about a decade or so.
An ab.
An ab. Yeah, haven't even done an ab. Tone has a question for you in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, Rock, Mr. Johnson. On the show, we use this word, and it's we kind of use it to describe good vibes or this energy that we're talking about. And I know.
They know. Yep, they know.
And I know what Terramana is. It's one of the best tequilas in the world, okay? And I know what Moana is. It's one of the best animated films of all time.
What?
Okay? Can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
we talk about Mana.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And we talk about Mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't let it buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What does it take away? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me mini Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
Well, we talk about Mana on the show, but since you were here, I think it's no one better to tell us exactly what Mana is and how much you're carrying around at one single
And
time.
are we allowed to say this as whites, not from Hawaii?
Yes.
You can, yes. So mana is a term that we have in my culture, one of my cultures. I'm half black and half Samoan. And on the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. You could feel, mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Mwah. Hi, you could feel it.
Mana.
So that's what mana is. Thank you for bringing it up. But mana is everywhere. And if you pay attention to it, you could feel it, and you could always use it, I think, to your advantage and find your power in that way, man.
I can feel it.
Big Goose.
Yeah, bumps Mana.
Yes.
Chills right now.
Big Goose, you radiate mana.
Yes.
Big mana from the
brother.
Big Goose. Let's talk about the mana of XFL. Obviously, this was something that you got involved in. We were all pumped about. There are so many different rumors about, is the XFL going to team up with the CFL? Or are they going to do something else? Are they going to get a deal with the NFL? How hands-on are you with the XFL? Seemingly a lot. I see you at all those workouts, lining up at defensive end against some of these offensive linemen. I see you at the games, hands-on there with Danny, who's obviously somebody who runs an incredible business alongside of you. But the XFL, first season, there was some news that came out about it. And then you said, hey, this is a long-term commitment. I'm not worried about just one season. I'm here for 10. Is that still your mindset on it? And how much does the XFL change, you think, over the next few years?
Well, I think, number one, the XFL has changed my life. And I think that with the XFL, I like you guys, I love the game of football.
Yep.
And I wish the XFL was around when I was coming out of Miami. We just had the NFL or nothing. CFL for sure, but it's like you want to go to the league, especially if you go to University of Miami, right? And I played all those players there. So with the XFL, we were able to buy the league, start this league up. I didn't make it in the NFL. That never happened for me. So years later, this full circle story can come back around where I can buy this league with Danny Garcia, our chairwoman, and along with Redbird Capital, and we can create these opportunities for players, and you guys know this, who otherwise wouldn't have these opportunities.
And there was what, like 26 guys, or I forget how many guys.
We have over 80 guys in NFL right now at camp.
And they wouldn't have got a shot.
Yes, wouldn't have got a shot. So the XFL, hands-on for sure, and it's really been so gratifying. And the NFL, I got to say this, Roger Goodell, Troy Vincent, those guys have been so supportive from day one. And we went up there to New York, hat in hand, respectful. We're not looking to compete.
Smart.
You don't compete with the league. There's only one NFL forever, and you guys know that. So we're here. Is there any way, in the spirit of growing the game of football, can we partner? And they said yes, and you have our support. So it's really been amazing.
Anytime you got the NFL backing you in a football thing, I think you're going to be okay.
I think you'll be all right.
Yep. With that being said.
And not only that, but you bring up Danny, by the way. Thank you for bringing her up. What we did, again, in doing something, I think that's not only never been done, but also creating this story that people can be inspired by, pulling Mana by. We have Danny, chairwoman of the XFL. Her name is on the ball. A woman of color, a woman in a male-dominated world, man. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, you did a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Did a lot of great stuff in that first season with your leadership of the XFL. We can't wait to watch it continue to grow. We only have a few minutes left here on ESPN, and then we'll transition.
Oh, well, wait a second. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I was kind of hinting.
Yes,
I was kind of, you were picking up what I was like.
I'm picking it up because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Woo.
Here we go.
That's a big cup.
It's a big cup.
It's all right. It's all right, Mike. Rollman's a dog. It's all right. Rollman's a dog.
Here we go.
Give him the people's elbow.
All right, boys.
Here we go.
Come on, brother. There you go.
Hell yeah. So they want him to kill. God, he's a good guy. He works his ass off, and we need him tomorrow.
We need him tomorrow.
Speaking of tomorrow,
Yes.
you're the guest picker on game day tomorrow?
The guest picker on game day, brother. Dude. Let me tell you something about that. So, you're living the dream. You guys are living the dream. So I just saw Lee Corso, met him. Yep. I mean, I think it was the first time I met him. And he was like, can you believe how far you've come? I was like, dude, years ago, we used to all, how all the college boys, you stand around, you're sitting in the hotel room before the game watching game day. I said, I used to just watch and hope that you would say my name back when I was at Miami, man. And now look, here we are. So I can't wait.
It's his 400th headgear this weekend.
Wow.
400 of them. Still got his fastball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
And you're going to be there. It's going to be awesome and electrifying. Hey, we're going to hear that pop there?
Speaking of electrifying, here's the iconic sound. You guys know it.
Oh, good times are on the horizon. This Feel Good Friday
I'll get a nice heavy.
in Boulder, Colorado.
Thank you. Here, I'll pass it down.
Hey, how many cases of this did you sell in the first year?
We, with Terramana, just so you guys know, and it's because a lot of you guys, is we wound up shattering all records in the spirits business.
Is that good?
Of course.
Is that good?
It's that good. All right, boys. Shall I?
To you, pal.
We need one.
Oh,
There you go, dude.
sorry.
Thank you.
Who knows?
All right, listen, this special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you, very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers.
Boys, gotcha.
That is smooth.
We got it. That was good. Wow.
Wow. It's all ice.
I'll tell you what.
That's good.
That was delightful.
So good.
I was getting to the point where I was so in the zone and listening to you talk, trying to learn your game there, that I was almost feeling like I was in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, every word that comes out of this guy's mouth, let's make sure we're hungry hippoing it.
Yep.
Then I take a little tequila and I remind myself, we're having a good time on this.
We're having a good time,
Great
baby.
time.
And Sports Center will be on in about 7 minutes after this break starts. We will continue this conversation with the legend that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on YouTube and ESPN+.
Yeah, baby.
We hope that you win every single bet this weekend. We hope your team wins, and we'll see you on Overreaction Monday at noon Eastern. You're all the best. Goodbye. Hey, I think we did go. Hey, we're off of ESPN. You guys fucking killed it out here. Now,
Man, unreal.
I would like to say, this big bastard's got a heavy hand. This hand.
Yeah.
I do. I got a heavy hand.
Quadruple.
Bottle's gone.
All right, let's start talking a little bit more. Okay, so how did you?
Rocky.
As the people chant The Rock's name in Boulder, Colorado. So you're always just been a tequila guy?
Yeah.
Always been a tequila guy?
Whiskey. Tequila and whiskey.
Do you have your own whiskey?
Not yet.
You should.
You're still, we're still live on YouTube right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh,
Good.
let's not have too
Fuck yeah. Here we go. Let's do this.
There you go. But how'd you decide tequila was good? This is very delicious. I assume
So
it was a
smooth.
long time
Thank you,
to
boys. I
find this.
appreciate it. So about this tequila, just so you know, in this world of spirits, as I've learned, and you had to learn like baptism by fire right away, is there's so many of the tequilas, especially the big ones that everybody knows, they're made in distilleries where hundreds of other tequilas are made. So the barrels are shared, the machinery is shared. With Terramana, we thought, let's do it differently, let's do it the right way. Only Terramana is made in our distillery, so it's kind of got a pretty good distinct taste.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to make it, the cleanest, so there's not a lot of bullshit in it. It's completely clean.
Big.
Oh, there you go.
We got to finish the bottle. I
Yeah,
think.
I have to. Hurry. Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you're offering,
Yeah.
sure, twist my arm.
I guess I'll drink your tequila.
Thank you, sir.
So
Cheers to you, sir.
the boys in the truck obviously incredibly pissed that they got done.
We'll take care of the boys.
Okay,
There
okay,
they are.
yeah.
We'll take care of the boys. Tequila's coming. Let me ask you guys this. What's the best part about what you guys do?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Getting a chance to do something like completely different than how it's normally done has been hilarious and exhilarating. And waking up and working with your friends, completely different ball game than working with a bunch of other people.
That's right.
So I think those two things are really what we're
And when you talk about doing things your way,
Yeah.
right? Because I know that's important to you. And this is why the vibe and the mana of this show is different. You just feel it.
Yep.
Yeah, you got those goosebumps.
Nice, yeah, a little mono.
So, when did you know you needed it to be done your way in order for it to make it work?
So I think these guys know this. So we've been doing this show for 5 years now, six years now.
Six, yeah.
And like nobody wanted our show. So like I would get independent contracts for networks to go do things. And I would always say like, yeah, we have a show. And they're like, YouTube show, all right, see you later, see you later, see you later. So it was almost out of a matter of necessity that I had a belief in the talent that the boys had. I had a belief in our engine. You know, we go every day, 4 hours. We've been doing this a long time. Like this is what we do. During COVID, the world stopped. We did not miss a fucking show.
No.
It wasn't one show.
McAfee and Hog Sports Talk.
We added 2 hours to our daily regimen when everybody else stopped. So it was like almost out of necessity that we had to do it this way. But the team that we have, like, hey, Foxy, cut to the back there, please, to you guys. That guy on the left right there.
See a Z?
So that's Zito right there. He is like a phenom whenever it comes to tech and like connecting things and Wi-Fi, what you need for a show. And then the guy on the right next to him, he kind of looks like a little bitch-made cat. So
He is.
that's Evan Fox right there. He's one of the greatest video editors of all time. So as we continue to build and learn and fail and then learn and then fail and then learn, we got to a point where it was like, I don't have time just because you're wearing a suit to tell me what's going to work and what's not going to work. So kindly go fuck yourself.
Yes.
And that's kind of how we've been.
Yes.
And it's all because of how talented the boys are, Rock. Honestly.
I love that, man. Well, I love that. I remember when we went down with COVID, you guys kept going.
Yes. Yeah.
Which drew me. That's probably about the time we started connecting in around that time. I love that because it also just reminds me of what Dana White was able to do with the UFC. Instead of shutting everything down, he went for it. Doubled down on it and just go for it.
See, AJ, what do you like about the show? You just love showing off your personality every single day?
Yeah, I
You
guess.
talk-
I mean, bookshelf. It's absolutely bizarre every single day. I can't lie, and that's what I love about it because I got 4 young kids. I'm chasing them around all the time. I get to connect from Ohio to these guys in Indianapolis, and I love it. I'm in my little cocoon up there, and I get to just chime in and do my thing. And Pat obviously is a very unique,
Did you guys play together?
supremely talented guy. No, I didn't even know Pat till we were pretty much done. I was done playing pretty much, right?
He went on, hey.
He doesn't think I could tackle him. Yeah. So I couldn't tackle him. Hey, he weighs 20 pounds more than me right now. So yeah, I don't know. I have to go low. on him.
All-time leading tackler, though, right?
For Green Bay,
For
yeah.
Green Bay, yeah.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Bring on.
And how about you, boys?
I was in a cubicle doing sales, and I was happy, or at least I thought I was happy, and then you come and do this, and it unlocks a different happiness, because it's kind of doing something that you never thought you would do, especially in front of a crowd like this. And then, like, Pat talks about how, like, getting out of the NFL, you guys miss the locker room feel. We have that every single day. It's like a family locker room feel every day. That's the best.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, same deal. You know, you work the other side of this, and then, I mean, look at us today. I'm fucking on a stage with The Rock. You know? That's who I've looked up to and loved my entire life.
He
And it's
actually,
just-
he's a movie degree. He has a question for you, Rock, actually, about all of
Give
it.
it to
Yeah,
me.
no, I mean, first of all, it pains me that, I mean, I don't know about anyone here, but there's like a generation of people who just look at you and go, hey, that's the biggest movie star in the world. They have no idea how you electrified audiences in the WWE for so long. But I'm just curious, like, how busy you are. Like, I know Black Adam was a passion project, and obviously critics are going to
Pop,
say...
you see that?
I
Pop?
got one. I got one.
Yeah,
But no, but that's real. Critics are going to say bullshit, and I think you get a bad rap, especially because, like, you're not making art house stuff. Like, you're trying to put asses in seats. You're trying to kind of appease the fans, but, like, you are the most in-demand actor in the world. Like, you have so many scripts coming to you know, to your desk. Like, how do you choose what movie you're going to be in? And I know we're in a strike right now, but is there anything in the pipeline that you're excited about?
Well, I thank you for bringing that up. We are in a strike, so I can't actually say what I'm excited about. But what I could tell you
Who
is
tells you that?
Yeah,
Who
why?
Literally, who
Why
tells
can't
you
you
that?
even talk
How's that
about
work?
it?
How's
Can't
that
even
work?
talk?
We don't know this world anymore.
No, oh yeah, no. You can't talk about it. You can't talk about projects you're working on because it's considered promoting it, and it's connected it's connected then to the studios that are being struck.
Okay.
So
All right,
it's
so don't say anything.
We hate them. We hate the studios because they're basically locking us out.
They're stealing money.
You guys are striking, so we can't promote our stuff because then it's promoting the studio who's not giving us what we
Correct.
want.
Yes.
Not giving the writers and
the
actors.
writers.
So right
Big.
now, the most important thing is you got to be in solidarity with the SAG, with our actors, and with our writers right now. But what I can tell you, though, is in terms of getting scripts thrown my way, number one, am I going to love it? Am I just going to love it? Am I going to love waking up in the morning and running to that, whatever it is? And not only that, but do I think the people are going to love it? And that's what it comes down to. Am I going to love it? Are the people going to love it?
And
How do you know though?
How do you know? Yeah.
How can you
Is that
read
a
a
good
script
read?
and say, hey, this is a good script? How long does it take to
got
figure
it.
that out?
First page, last page with your name on both of them.
Well, yeah, it's like not me. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Michael Caine.
Take shirt off. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Kicks ass. Yeah.
Flies a helicopter.
Flies the heck up. Yeah.
stops a missile on ice.
Stops a missile.
Yeah,
Tells them,
redirects
go
one.
fuck yourself. That's me. Yeah, I love it.
I like this movie.
I like this. I'll do it. You just start to get a sense. Well, you know, it's like when you read something or you do something or whatever it is, you're like, oh, I like this. I feel like I'm going to like it. In terms of people, that's where I feel like that's the key. You got to have your finger on the pulse. I like to think I got my finger on the pulse of what people like and what they may dig.
How do you
And
stay
also-
relatable? How do you do it? It's got to be impossible. We watch you walk over here.
Yeah.
Okay, we watch you walk over here. There was a team of people around you, obviously, and then there was a flock of just students that saw you were there. And I assume that's everywhere in public. We follow you on social. You ride by a bus, roll down your window in a truck, and every human goes bananas.
Holy shit.
How do you remain a human? Honestly, how do you remain relatable with a pulse on things in the world that you're in right now?
I appreciate it. I think a few things. I try to, all the tough stuff that's happened in the past, I try to keep it in the forefront of my mind. Back when I was in college too as well, I keep that in the forefront of my mind too. But also what I try to do is just try to keep things into perspective. It could all go away like that. Yep. I'm lucky, I'm grateful. I got a lot of good people around me. And I always try, and I always say this, I'm pretty good at having a thought and maybe a vision and saying, hey, there's our North Star. That's what we need to do. I don't know how the fuck we're going to get there, but let me bring in people who are a lot smarter than I am to help us get over there. So do a pretty good job at that. And then also try to keep things simple at home. And you guys are thinking this is crazy, but around every corner, it's like the gym is so important. And you got to work it out, but just get away from everything. It's like the quiet time.
That's your meditation,
It's
right?
a meditation, for sure. And also little things like I don't get driven anywhere, like even here.
I heard that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have my truck waiting for me, not my truck, but a truck that I could drive. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. I don't like, and again, it keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, or take me there. Nah.
Yeah, we heard that this morning when we landed.
That was powerful.
We're like, because I love to drive too. I've kicked the Uber drivers out of the driver's seat. Said, hey, I would like to drive this thing. I enjoy it. So they said, whenever they picked us up, they said, we got to drive a car over here for The Rock to drive here in a second. I'm like, hold on, I think, what'd you just say? They're like, yeah, The Rock actually, his team was like, just needs a car, he'll drive it, don't need anything else, he'll have a couple people with him. He will lead the security detail to the place. And I was like, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, he did do that.
And I am not The Rock, but that is something I'm gonna start saying like, I am sick of people. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. Like, I can open my own door, dude. Like, they're trying to be courteous, it's their job. But also like, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become big old bitch. And I don't want to do that. Like that's that's like a real problem I have, a dilemma.
This kind of stuff happens, and especially in the world of when if you get lucky enough to make it, where people open your doors and they do all this shit for you. And if like you, I needed to cut all that out of my life. I'll open my own door. I'll drive myself everywhere. I got it. I'll eat out of my tin. I'll drink out of this. Like, just give me this. So you got to do that.
Well, we appreciate you, man. You're going to do great on game day tomorrow. It's going to be an honor to share this set with you once again.
I can't wait.
And I think
I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we allow Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to go back to his life of doing something other than stupid conversations, this one's to you being an inspiration. Obviously, if you hear me talk, especially here in Boulder, Colorado, with the beautiful Buffalo fans at the footsteps of the Flatiron Mountain, a part of the Rockies, you can hear me talk.
I could hear it. I could hear me.
Yes. And I know that you've been able to hear you throughout a lot of the way that I talk. So I would like to do this in front of the camera, the same thing that I've done on text messages and other things. Thank you for inspiring an entire generation with the way you operate it. And thank you for helping make me me. This one's to you. Thanks for getting me boozed up. Appreciate you, boys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, boys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right, Rock.
Well, I'll tell you this really quick before I get out of here. Two things. Number one, I told him last night, he texted me, he's like, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. You have no idea what it means. I said, well, hold on, let me tell you something. I left him a voice note. I said, I'm running to this show tomorrow. And I said, I'll tell you why. We got the fans here in Boulder. That's number one. True story. I told him this last night. I said, I'm running here tomorrow. I got on a flight, woke up at 4 a.m., got on a flight and drove here. Because we got the fans, but also we got this thing. And this thing, you guys do it every day, 4 hours every day, you're kicking ass. But this thing, I don't get this thing. Like in my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
Thank you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here, and on the other side.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
See you in 5 with Aaron Rodgers. See you.